How many times do you think we'll see the Rodman? I'm just calling it the Rodman, where she tees somebody up on the sideline, does a little backwards Meg, and gets the ball on the other side. I feel like we're getting at least 4 or 5 this tournament.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
We should do an over-under bet on that, right?
Exactly.
How many megs you get during the Olympics? I love it. I love it. Literally every single game she goes for it. It should be like a drinking game too, I'm just saying.
Hey, it might be.
I know. You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the 91st podcast from Just Women's Sports. I'm Jordan Angeli, a former professional soccer player, longtime pundit here in the women's game, and I am thrilled to be bringing you all the takes alongside some of my friends, Duda Pavao, Jess McDonald. This is going to be so much fun. Duda, are you pumped as I am to be involved in this? And give a little bit about yourself so people know who you are.
Jordan, I am so excited to be, honestly, to just sit down and watch all the games, but also to be here to be able to talk to you and to Jess about the games and the Olympics. It is the Olympics. It's such a special event. And so pumped to be here with Just Women's Sports too.
Yeah. And you bring us a little Brazilian flair. So I'm expecting some Portuguese at times because we need to learn some things, don't we, Jess? And,
absolutely.
And from you, Jess, we're going to learn how to be a champion. Women's World Cup champ, Jess McDonald, you're going to give us a lot of those nitty gritty details. So excited to have you alongside us.
Yeah, I'm super excited as well. I was super pumped to have this opportunity to be able to speak with you guys during the Olympics. No better time, honestly, other than probably the World Cup, to be honest. And I'm just looking forward to watching a lot of our friends play. Jordan, I know you know a lot of people who are in the Olympics right now. And to be able to talk about that, give a little more nitty gritty to the public, I am super stoked for this.
Yeah. So I think Jess kind of gave a little insight into how we want this to roll. Is we want you to feel like you're one of us, that we're either chatting with you wherever you are, whether you're watching at home, at work, whether you're listening in your car, that you're just hanging out with us three post-game. And we're talking about all things that have happened, how we maybe think some of our friends, as you just mentioned, got through some of the different aspects of that game. And we're going to bring some of the insight. It's going to be pretty chill, but I think we're going to bring some good takes. This should be a fun way to be able to do it. So make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow Just Women's Sports on all your favorite social channels so you don't miss any updates from us. Should we get into what the Olympic tournament is going to be and the format and all the details when it comes to what it looks like?
Let's do it.
I'm down for it. Absolutely.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
It's a small tournament, right? It's quick and fast. It is 3 groups with 4 teams in each group. The group stage games will all take place on July 25th, July 28th, and July 31st. The top 2 teams from each group, plus the third place teams, will advance to the knockouts. We're going to get you our thoughts on that in just a little bit. And then the quarterfinals are on August 3rd, semifinals August 6th. And then the bronze medal match is August 9th, and it'll all culminate with that gold medal match on August 10th. So really quick tournament, 6 games in 17 days. Jess, you've played in a World Cup. The World Cup is twice as long as this. How difficult is it to play this many games in such a short period of time?
It's so difficult. You know, you're almost stepping back into youth soccer all over again. You know how we used to play a bunch of games in one weekend, 6 to 8 games, and I look back, I'm like, how did I do that? And now as an adult, recovery is so important, and be able to take very good care of your body off the field in order to prepare again for that next game. I mean, it's a battle completely. And at the end of it, whoever the winner is from World Cup to the Olympics, it's all about that mental competitiveness at that point. That's when it really sinks in. So I'm super excited to see what organizations are going to separate themselves from the rest when it comes to that part of the game.
Yeah, Duda, how are you going to watch these games? Are you just posting up on your couch all day? Because it is like one after another after another.
100%, Jordan. Honestly, the best. And I was even thinking about this. It's been so long since I actually got to sit down and enjoy a tournament, because normally you're working, right? Yes. So normally I'm just running around, working, doing all the coverage. And I cannot wait to just sit down and not just watch soccer. I love every single sport at the Olympics, like the most random ones that we don't get to watch. Yes, I'll be sinking in my couch, enjoying some caramel popcorn, having a drink, and just enjoying every single match. But then getting ready to record a podcast afterwards.
Oh, she's got her
Yeah.
popcorn ready. There we go. I love it.
I am popcorn girl. I love it.
Absolutely. It's going to be so much fun. And I think I might have just skipped over a little bit. I was excited about who advances from the group stage. I want to clarify that this is a tough tournament to get out of, to not to get out of your group, but kind of, you guys, because these groups are stacked. We will get into what the groups are like. So the top 2 teams from each group will advance, but then the top 2 third place teams from the 3 groups will advance. So that could be from group A, B, or C. If you're the top third place group with a different tiebreakers, you will be able to go into the knockout rounds. I think that's the weirdest part of it. I think we're all just kind of hopeful next time it'll just be 16 teams and we can roll with that. That would be a lot nicer because there's a lot of teams that are world power that are not in this tournament, which is pretty shocking when you think about it.
Yeah, I was even thinking about, like, we don't have Sweden.
No Sweden.
Obviously, Great Britain is not there, so we're not going to be able to. Because I know we're going to do some predictions later on in the show.
Yes.
And I was like, who do I think is going to win the Golden Glove? Mary Earps, and I'm like, wait,
no Mary Earps. I know.
And
It's
then
weird.
And then Vucevic from Sweden. It's like, wait, what? It's going to be so weird.
Yeah.
It'll be wild. I think first off, before we get into what the groups themselves look like, we're going to do a lot of our chat and our convo post US Women's National Team games. This is what our audience loves to hear. We have some experts when it comes to US Women's National Team over the years here, not only with Jess, who played in the 19 World Cup, but Duda, you have been involved with the women's game for a long time. So let's talk about USA's group real quick and then go into a little bit about this team. So USA is in Group B. There was Zambia, Germany, and Australia. There are 47 players from NWSL in this entire tournament, which is amazing. It's 16 more than the next highest league, being the WSL in England. And that's not even including alternates, you guys. So the United States itself is packed, but you're also going to be able to see other US players on different teams throughout this tournament. When you're looking at the United States, there have been a lot of changes over the last really 12 months. New coach, new faces, new style of play. What is the biggest thing that you're thinking of, Jess, when you're thinking of all the new things leading into this tournament that you're most excited about?
I'm most excited about, I think, the squad as a whole, just because it almost looks brand new. And that's what makes it a little more spicy. Brand new with Emma Hayes and some of her staff that she brought on board. And then obviously the players. We still have a little bit of experience when it comes to Alyssa Nair. Uncle Alyssa is what they like to call her. But I think at the end of the day, I am really, really looking forward to this forward line for the United States. I mean, wow, when you look at these players who are playing up top, holy crap, like, what do you think? How do you prepare for that? You have Sophia Smith, who is in her prime right now, which is crazy to say because she's just getting better and better by the year for club and country. So I know she's going to bring some heat. And then who are they missing in the World Cup? A huge, huge piece of this side, Mallory Swanson. I'm excited for this young woman. She has been on fire for her club, Chicago Red Stars. And obviously when she's representing the U.S. Women's National Team, she's killed it out there too. So I know she's been waiting for this big moment since she missed out last summer for the World Cup. Right. So she's going to sprinkle a little extra spice into this U.S. Women's National Team side. And then you have the young Trinity Rodman, who is just scary to obviously play up against. So any of these outside backs going up against these 3 very fast strikers, I don't know if those are going to be the predominant starters, but that's just my prediction right now. But I mean,
how could they not?
How could they not? You know? And so when you look at these 3 who are so good at interchanging, they're so different style-wise when it comes to the way that they play. And so I'm excited to see how they're really going to connect in the final third, breaking lines, taking players on 1v1, because all three of them, they play with so much confidence, and it's so hard to defend confidence. So we're going to see some confidence on this US women's national team side.
Yeah.
How many times do you think we'll see the Rodman? I'm just calling it the Rodman, where she tees somebody up on the sideline, does a little backwards Meg, and gets the ball on the other side. I feel like we're getting at least 4 or 5 this tournament.
Give or take. Yes, absolutely.
We should do an over-under bet on that, right?
Exactly.
How many megs you get during the Olympics? I love it. I love it. Literally every single game she goes for it. It should be like a drinking game too, I'm just saying.
Hey, it might be.
I know. You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome.
Yeah. Duda, Jess is excited for the front line for this US team. Is there a player or a part of the field that really sticks out to you as to some of the newness that is brought into this group over the last few months?
Yes. Well, first of all, I'm so excited to see what Emma Hayes does with this team. I know they were talking about like on the field, but also like on the sideline, to watch how she coaches and the way that the players want to play for her. Mm-hmm. And obviously the attacking, which imagine having to deal with just Trinity Rodman's one thing, but in putting your head up and looking up and seeing Trinity, Sophia, and Mao, like it's a whole different thing. But I'm really big fan of Sam Coffey. She didn't get her chance at the World Cup, and now to be able to see how she's doing with Emma Hayes and the way she's been playing with Emma Hayes and the way she just feels like free. I'm a huge fan of the way that she plays, the way she controls the midfield. She's so technical. And that connection there between Sam and Sophia, you know, from the Torns, from Portland Torns, all the way to the U.S. women's national team, now to the Olympics. I can't wait to see that. Many times, obviously, you know, all the celebrations and all the stars and the photos and the videos, they go to the forward who scored the goal. But most of the times, it's literally because of the dime that she puts over there to the forward, and they're able to put the ball in the back of the net. I can't wait to see what Sam does. I'm a huge fan.
I like that
so
shout
because you mentioned Sam Coffey, because she's played such a critical role for the Thorns. And so when Rob Gale became head coach, he has put her in more of a 10 position, even though she's been playing 6. So seeing her get up high and being able to score as well, getting in the final third. I mean, no, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but her natural position is actually the 10 position. So she makes the 6 look so easy. And then when she's able to get forward and connecting with that forward line, I'm so happy you mentioned her, because I'm excited to watch her play too.
Yeah, I'm manifesting and Sam Coffey go to the Olympics.
Ooh,
yes,
okay. She is a stud.
Yes.
So I like that. She is one of the 4 newcomers. So of the 18 players on this roster, 4 of them have not participated in a major tournament. That's Jaden Shaw, Jenna Neiswanger, Corbin Albert, and Sam Coffey. You mentioned Emma Hayes, the new head coach. We will dig into who Emma Hayes is and what she brings to this squad in just a little bit. But there's a lot of pressure on this group. They took bronze in the Olympics in 2020, which was played in the summer of 2021. But they've won the gold medal 4 times. They are one of 2 teams that have been at all 7 Olympics. Duda, do you know who the other team is?
Is it Brazil?
Oh, yeah, girl. It's Brazil. It's Brazil. So they have been at every Olympic tournament. And they want to get back on the right ship, right? Which is the gold medal ship. And for this team, it is going to be without some major players. One that sticks out to everybody is there is no Alex Morgan on this roster. Jess, you played with Alex. You know Alex can be lethal in front of goal. What was your first reaction when you heard that she was not named to this team nor to the alternates?
Literally, I said, wow, out loud, because this was a conversation I've had with so many people, whether or not she was going to be on this roster. And it was tough to say whether or not, you know, my prediction wise, if she was going to be on this squad, simply because she's been kind of in and out of injury. You know, she's not in top form right now. So does it overall make sense? Yes, for her to not be there, but you know, she brings so much experience to the game, you know, almost like that Megan Rapinoe role. Obviously, she doesn't take free kicks, but like overall just having that image with the squad, sometimes that changes the game a little bit. So to have such a young front line, we're going to see who's going to step up to the plate this time around, because she would have been that player, because she's so good under pressure. She's so
Mhm.
good in tight spaces.
Mhm.
She's one of the top nines, and she has been, historically in women's soccer globally. And so I think this is a piece that could possibly be missing from this U.S. women's national team side, just because she's experienced, and that's the only thing that separates her from the other players. But I think overall, Emma Hayes, I can confidently say, made the right decision, just because she's not in top form, coming off
Yeah.
of injury. She's getting back in form for club, and so I'm sure that was a tough decision for Emma Hayes, but I think it was the right one.
It was, and this job requires a lot of tough decisions because this is a stacked pool of U.S. women's national team players, and you're going to have to make those types of big decisions come a big tournament, especially with a small roster like 18. I was not that surprised because she has only scored one goal for club at San Diego this year, and that was the first game of season. That was the Challenge Cup. So, Duda, when I heard this news, I was not as shocked when it came to performance. You need a hot hand when you're going into the
Yeah.
Olympics,
Exactly.
Yeah.
or
Which by
foot,
the
or head, or whatever.
all of it, all of it. With by the way, you doing your research, huh? All the
Oh,
facts, all the
oh,
numbers.
well, yeah, I got to. I'm prepped.
Amazing. Well, Jordan, I gotta say, I was a little bit surprised. But I respect Emma so much for literally taking on this job and making that decision. Can you imagine
No.
being named the U.S. Women's National Team head coach, and then right away the first big actually test that you have with the team, you drop one of the biggest names they could possibly do. You really have to be aware of what changed and how would that affect the team during a
Hmm.
tournament. And it's exactly what Jess said too. She brings experience, she brings the leadership to the team. Um, yeah, she hasn't been performing very normally how she does, right? We're very used to her scoring goals all the time. However, that missing piece that is Alex Morgan off the pitch as well, that leadership, she
Yeah.
knows how to act during World Cups and major tournaments. I wonder also who that piece will be for the U.S. women's national team when the time comes. I don't know if you know who that person is. I don't know if they know who that person is. That person might just, buckle up and show up when it's time. But I'm excited how that's going to change things behind the scenes.
And I think that gives a little bit of the next evolution of this squad because we have
Mhm.
seen the torch be passed from generation to generation. And I am not saying Alex Morgan is out of this team indefinitely or forever. I think it is not this tournament, but I think she'll be back with them once she finds her form. And a big tournament isn't on the horizon where you had to narrow down the roster. But Emma Hayes was in a prime position. She coached for Chelsea for a number of years and had to make these types of decisions honestly week in and week out. Who is in best form for us right now? We are going to make sure that we utilize them.
Yeah.
Another big topic is some of the injuries that happen. I think most notably the injury to Katarina Macario, who I don't know about you guys, but my hand is up as to I was so stoked to see
I
her
know.
on this roster. The ingenuity and creativity of Macario is unlike anybody on this team. And when she had to pull out because of some lingering knee issues having to do with her ACL back a couple of years ago. She really hasn't found the form that she has had before that ACL. So, first off, I'm going to say we're just hoping that Katarina finds herself again because we love seeing her on the pitch. But with her exclusion, how does that change the continuity of this group, Jess? Because you bring in Lynn Williams as an alternate, it slides, excuse me, Emily Sams, that's where I was going with that one, into an alternate spot. It changes a lot of things. And I think Macario might be a bigger miss than people think.
She's a huge miss. I was also very excited to see her on this Olympic squad. I even called my mentor as soon as the roster came out, and I was like, hey, our girl Kat is out there again. Let's go. So that's how stoked I was for this young woman, because she has worked so hard to get back. And one of the most difficult and mentally challenging things to go through as an athlete is an injury. This has been lingering for so long, so I can only imagine how she feels, but she is going to be a huge piece missing from this roster. She brings skill. She's so good under pressure. She's good in tight pockets of space. She's so good at going forward. She sets her teammates up. She makes something out of nothing. I think that she would have brought just so much more to this U.S. Women's National Team side than people realize going into the Olympics, because she's hungry. She came
Yeah.
from injury. She's been out for so long. Now she's been in top form. And you know that feeling when you get injured, you come back and you're feeling good. You're like, let's go. So I know she was feeling hungry about this one. It's just so unfortunate that this is still lingering for her. But I hope she gets well very, very soon. And then Lynn Williams comes in, and she's probably the best defending striker globally, in my opinion. I played with her for so long, but I think
So you just made her do the running is what you did.
Hey, she's a little younger than me, and I'm like, Lynn, you got this, honey.
So you can talk from your own experience. You're telling us,
Exactly, exactly, yes. But Kat is such a huge piece missing. But Lynn Williams, she's gonna bring that fire as well. She has her own strengths, speed being one of them. I know she's going to always work back for the team to regain possession, things like that. And so that's what Lynn will bring to the game. But, Kat is also Brazilian too. So she was bringing that Brazilian flair. A little samba on the ball. So I was excited to see that.
A little bit of joga bonito on the ball.
Yeah.
Man. I was going to say, because Kat kind of, not going to lie, broke my heart a little bit when she decided to play for the U.S. But then again, broke my heart that she was not able to represent the U.S. now during the Olympics. A huge miss, right? And also the connection that she has with Emma. Emma knows Kat. Like, she knows how she plays. I was so excited to see her too.
That probably set it up in a really good way that they could have that conversation, because it was probably a very difficult conversation for Kat, but with her knowledge of Emma and the relationship that they have built, just deciding, hey, this is not the best for you, nor is it the best for the team, because I can imagine that would be a very difficult discussion to have. I found it curious that you replaced a 10 with a forward in the roster, bringing in Lynn Williams. But I will note, you guys, there is a change to the alternate rule for this Olympics, and it's really important. And I think maybe it is a play by Emma Hayes. It's almost a chess play and not checkers, because we already have seen it. Rose Lavelle could not play in those second games of the send-off series because she had some tightness. What the new rule allows for you is you can bring an alternate onto the squad if there is an injury that is small. So if it will take a player off the team for that game that night, you have to make the change 6 hours before kickoff. So you could bring a Croy Bethune in, who we saw play in both of the games leading up to this, knowing, hey, this is a fragile position for us. Not only do we lose Macario, but we don't have Rose Lavelle potentially every single game because of muscle tightness, because of a little strain, whatever. If that is just a little, do you think it's forward thinking there, Duda?
No. But sorry, I agree with you, but I know what I was thinking. Sorry. And here's the thing. Do you think that when they made the decision, when Emma Hayes made the roster call, do they know in advance that this was going to change?
I think they already did know, because she spoke about right after the roster was announced, she spoke about these changes to the press and said it's almost like you're picking 22, because normally you'd have to pick an 18, maybe a 20-man roster for the bench. So you're narrowing it down anyways from 23 to 20 if it's a World Cup, here from 22 to 18. So she's almost treating it as a 22-player group, knowing that if a little injury comes up, that she is able to utilize her players as alternates for maybe just a game, and then they can reverse back to whatever happens. Guys, I'm not hoping for injuries. That is not what I hope. But I think that this is a good play by Emma Hayes, bringing Lynn Williams in over Croy Bethune. But I kind of think we're going to see Croy Bethune at some point in this tournament. All right. Let's move on to Emma Hayes herself, the new coach for the U.S. Women's National Team, not a new coach in the United States. Jess, did you play under her in WPS for the Chicago Red Stars?
I did. She was my
Wow.
first pro coach.
I knew it.
Yep.
And I would say Emma from then to now she has evolved so much in her coaching personality, in her relationships. But did you know back then there was something there that could be fostered into a really good coach? And how would you describe playing under Emma Hayes?
Yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, she is such an incredible human being. My rookie year, I was struggling with off the field things, and she literally drove me around and helped me, and that's a little fun fact about Emma Hayes, being there for her players, making sure things off the field are smooth sailing so things can transition on the field to be able to perform. And so just that characteristic alone, I think, is so huge when it comes to being a coach, mentor, someone your players look up to. And so that's what she's always brought to the table. And now when you talk about on the field stuff, she has high expectations. She don't play that. And that was another thing. She'll put her foot down. She'll kill you with a little bit of kindness, but it's a little stern. And so that's what I loved about Emma Hayes. And so I think at the end of the day, when you see a coach early on in their career, when you see a player early on in their career, at the end of the day, you could see that there's something in the future for them that is going to be just so incredible. And so, yeah, I saw it in Emma Hayes. This was her first year in the WPS, coaching in the United States. And so I think that she brought just amazing characteristics to the game. And so when you have respect for your coach off the field, on the field, it's smooth as butter. And so I had the honor and privilege on that team with Emma Hayes. I had Formiga, shout out Brazil.
Wow.
Cristiani. And so I was surrounded by so many superstars on this squad, and Emma Hayes handled it so well. And it was so refreshing to transition from college and into this type of environment, because she was very understanding when it came to things off the field. And so on the field, she made sure things were smooth as butter for her players. Yeah. And so at the end of the day, that is such a key piece from a coach honestly. And so I knew that she was going to be one of the best coaches out there.
Well, it's been a short runway for her too. Mm-hmm. Duda, in previous iterations of the U.S. Women's National Team, no coach has had less than 16 games to prepare for a major tournament. She had 4.
Wow.
What did you see in those games from Emma that should make people excited about this new U.S. Women's National Team, next iteration of the U.S. Women's National Team?
You know what? It's kind of... You said the word excited there, because when people think about okay, I want to see goals. And for me, goals, that means that the team is doing well, right? But unfortunately, I'm going to have to mention, right? There was a 0-0 tie against Costa Rica, 1-0 win against Mexico. But I think it's the trust. What makes me excited about this team under Emma Hayes is to really watch how the players react to her and how they respect her. What Jess said. Once you have that coach that you want to play for the coach, that is a game changer, my friend. That is a game changer. And I looking from the outside, looking from the sidelines, you can see that the player respect her, the way that she coaches. And what I love, one of the things that I love the most about Emma's game is she treats each game, each half as like a chess match. Mm-hmm. She likes to take her time, manage the plays, manage the game, manage the players the way that she, minute by minute there. So even if she gave it an interview, she said that, yes, we would love to be 3-0 a half, but that's not football sometimes. You got to play the game. You got to be patient. I have trust. I trust this. I trust Emma, and that gets me excited.
Yeah, both of you said a lot of good things there, and just who Emma is and what she's going to implement on the field. Words that stuck out to me of what I've seen from Emma so far with this team is they're going to be adaptable. Yeah, they're going to play in multiple formations. They're going to be fluid. I think they're going to be a lot more forward thinking than we've seen in previous iterations, but they're also going to be organized. She is a tactician and she wants to show that off. And her first chance to show it off is against Zambia in the first game. I think we should do a little projected starting lineup. What do you guys think?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I wonder if we're going to have the same one.
Okay, do you want to go first, Duda?
I'll go first.
Okay,
let's go. Let's go. Because then if you copy, I just say you copy me.
Yeah, for sure. Duda's the smartest.
In goal, I have Alyssa. Okay, it's basically, let's just say it like that. I think it's the one that you use against Mexico. So Alyssa in goal, Fox, Germa, Davidson, Jenna, midfield. Rose Lavelle is going to be well. I have a feeling that Rose, rest up. Rose, Lindsay Horan, Sam Coffey, my girl, Trinity Rodman, Sam Smith, Mal Swanson. And it's going to be a 4-4-2 against Zambia.
You think it's going to be 4-4-2?
Yeah, I think they're going to start 4-4-2.
Okay. I'm going 4-3-3, but the exact same lineup.
Same. I had the same lineup also. Yeah. In a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah.
But I think one of the things we have seen is there have been times where Swanson and Smith tuck really closely together and look like a two front to leave Rodman the chance in the channel to go 1v1. But hey, we might all be the same, and it's all because Duda gave us that starting lineup.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
She is so smart. Have we mentioned how smart she is? It's going to be a really fun start to the tournament, and we'll be back after that game to let you know, one, if our starting lineup was right and what we've seen, because I think the identity of this team is still being developed. It is not a known identity yet. So looking forward to what they're going to be doing in the Olympics. Should we talk a little bit about the groups?
Let's do it.
Because we dug into the U.S. Women's National Team, as we should. And we're going to then talk a little bit about the rest of the tournament, some of the groups. So we each took a group, and we're going to give you a little insight into kind of the things to look after in this group. I wonder how we all did this, because we all probably did it very differently, which will be really interesting. All right, so I have the first group. Group A. It is Canada, Colombia, France, and New Zealand. Let's just start with the reigning champions. The 2020, Olympic champs is Canada, and they are a team who's going to have to defend that gold. It is going to be a difficult task in this group. Players to look out for: Ashley Lawrence and Adriana Leon, who had a really good women's gold cup. And I think Leon is going to be flying, feeling that confidence, because when she gets goals, she starts to streak. So those are the two players that I have you guys looking out for. They have 13 returning gold medalists from 2020. So they have a pretty solid team when it comes to people who know how to get the task done. Colombia is next. They're 22nd in FIFA rankings, but this team is my sleeper team.
I love it.
I mean, we'll get to who we think is going to be a little bit of a sleeper, but they have Linda Caicedo, one of the best wingers in the world, playing for Real Madrid, Lacey Santos, Mayra Ramirez, a Chelsea forward. But then Catalina Perez had a really good World Cup. The goalkeeper is going to have to be big for Colombia. So those are some players to watch for them. France. This is a team who is stacked. Is that a good way to put it, you guys? Absolutely stacked. Yeah. Second in FIFA rankings. They have Karietu Diani and Graça Gueiroso. Those are two of the players that I think are going to be important. Not just a winger, but a central midfielder in Gueiroso. Gueiro. There we go. Third time's a charm, right?
French is also it. It's hard. French is hard.
Yeah, French is hard.
I also can't, right?
Well, that's why you gave me this group, right? She's going to set the pace for them in the midfield. And then Diani is one of the best forwards, I would imagine. Jess, you look at her and think that is pure class. They're the oldest team in the tournament, but that might help them. They're playing on their home soil. There's a lot for them to defend. And then New Zealand is the last team in Group A. The second youngest team. This is a group of a lot of new players, but someone who is not new is our friend Allie Riley. Grew up in the United States, has played in both iterations or in WPS and in NWSL, playing now for Angel City. Captain, outside back, will lead this team with heart. Remember that speech she had last year playing in New Zealand in front of her home fans. And then I'm also going to go with another Riley, India Paige Riley. She's a right winger who will get at you. 7 goals in 17 matches in PSG Eindhoven or PSV Eindhoven this year. She had a great tournament last year and her couple appearances at the World Cup. This is going to be a tough group. New Zealand, France, Colombia, and Canada. Group A. Jess, you want to go next? You got Group B, right?
Man, I'm excited because this group is going to be wild. We already spoke about the United States in Group B. I think I've said enough about them. We've broken down a lot with that team, but we've got Australia, Germany, and Zambia. My goodness, I don't even know where to start with this group, but we can start off with Germany. Obviously, I have to give a shout out to another NWSL player, Ann Berger. She has been absolutely phenomenal for Gotham FC this season. She has brought a spark and goal, and I think we're going to see the same thing in the Olympics for Germany. And I'm excited to see Vivian Edelman. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know if I've ever said her name right, but she plays for Wolfsburg, and she is so good on the ball. She's so much fun to watch when she's scoring. I mean, there's just so many different ways that she scores, and I think she's going to bring such a spark to this forward line during the Olympics. I'm excited to watch her play. Moving forward, Australia, the Matildas, they had such a great run at the World Cup. And a lot of their games, they did play without Sam Kerr, their star striker. So she is huge shoes to fill. But players like Steph Catley stepping up to the plate for penalties. She scored majority of hers at the World Cup. I think she missed one. But I think overall, she's going to bring such incredible experience for the back line for this Matilda side. I'm always excited to watch Steph Catley, old teammate of mine. And then I think for Zambia, Barbara Banda. I mean, do we even need to mention anybody else at this point? But we've got from Zambia, we've got midfielder Grace Chanda, who just signed with Orlando Pride. So I'm excited to watch her in the NWSL as well. So as you can tell, I'm giving all of these NWSL players shout outs. And then obviously the incredible striker, Rachel Kundananji, who plays for Bay FC. She's so much fun to watch. She's been so good for this inaugural season for Bay FC. So I think Zambia, they're not going to be an easy team to beat. They beat Germany right before the World Cup started last summer. So you cannot sleep on Zambia, especially with someone like Barbara Banda, who is in her prime right now. She's one of the most exciting strikers I have watched play in a very long time. So I'm excited to see what Zambia is going to do.
Yeah, I like it. It's going to be a tough group for the United States. And then Group C, Duda, round us out with what you've learned about this group.
I mean, we're talking about hard groups, right?
I think this is a group of death for me.
It is. It has to be. We have in Group C, you have Spain, Brazil, Japan, and Nigeria. I think the Brazilian gods were taking a little nap when the draw happened because
they were working on the next World Cup.
They
Right?
Probably.
Yeah.
They 100% took a nap because like, oh my gosh. Well, so I'm going to start with Spain. Why not? Which, by the way, this is going to be the first ever Olympics for Spain.
Isn't that crazy?
That is wild to me. That is truly, it's crazy. It's first ever Olympics, which obviously they come as favorites. They just won the gold at the FIFA Women's World Cup in 2023. They qualified by beating the Netherlands 3-0 in the final of the UEFA Women's Nations League. They now have a new head coach, Tome, which she was assistant coach with all the chaos happening with the Spanish national team. But the players, they have their full trust on her as well. Fun fact for you, Jordan and Jess, for all the listeners. No team has ever won the World Cup in the Olympics back to back.
Really?
Yes. So this could be it for Spain. No other team has ever won the World Cup and then the Olympics following it. So,
So it's because it's back-to-back years. So teams
yes,
have won the Olympics and then the World Cup, but never the World Cup and then the Olympics.
correct. Correct. So
Ooh,
we'll
I
see if
like
it's
that fact.
so we'll see if it's
Okay,
Spain can pull it.
Espana. Let's
Let's
see.
go. Let's go. And okay, players to watch out for Spain. Like, do you want me to just listen the entire roster for
Just
Spain?
say the roster. 'Cause they're all just so phenomenal.
It is so hard. But I picked two. Obviously, Aitana Bonmati, current the best player in the world, midfielder for Barcelona. Watching her play is just freaking magic. But also Salma Parajuelo also plays for Barcelona, forward, very hard to be stopped, extremely fast, technical. She can finish easy in the box.
Mhm.
That is Spain for you, man. It's gonna be hard, Brazil.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard. In Brazil, my beautiful Brazil, we're gonna do this. Player to watch, of course, the one and only Marta, the 38-year young, probably in her last Olympics. Her current form, playing now for the Orlando Pride, it's been crazy to me.
What is
She's
she
put on
eating?
I
I need
don't
to know her
know.
diet.
I don't know, but I think we really need to make a phone call and ask, because the way she's playing for the Pride lately, it's truly unreal.
Some pão de queijo.
Some pão de queijo, drinking some guaraná,
Yes.
little bit of churrasco every day
Yes.
for Marta Barbecue. But obviously Marta playing her last possible Olympics, because we also never know, right?
Mhm.
Coming in representing this Brazil. But we have some other very important names in Brazil that I'm excited to watch, like Gabi Nunes up top. We saw what she did during the Gold Cup, which was truly amazing goals, and she played for the current head coach for Brazil too. So they have that connection. He knows her game. Big fan of how she plays.
One thing I'm a little surprised about, Duda, is
Yes.
Caroline made the roster. She has not played since the end of NWSL season when she tore ACL, and yet she is on this Brazilian roster. Were you surprised?
Very surprised, Jordan. I very surprised when I saw that. I know that they went and visit the training facility and obviously went to North Carolina to see how she was doing.
Right.
So obviously, when you see her name on the roster, you assume that she's 100% healthy to go and play. But at the same time, like you mentioned, she hasn't played.
Mhm.
She has not played. I'm interested to see how that's going to go.
But if she can play, whew.
Oh my gosh.
Not human.
No.
Not
No.
human.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And honestly, if she's available for one game for Brazil, I'll take it.
Okay.
15
Yeah.
minutes, 10 minutes, let's go. And especially now with the alternate change to the rosters, right? I think that it's a huge difference
Mhm.
for all the teams. But if Carolyn is available for 5-10 minutes, put her on. I'll take it.
See, what are these players eating in Brazil? See, I need to know what everybody's eating in Brazil. I mean, like, you look back at Formiga. I mean, she
I
played till she
know.
was like 45 and still moving like she's 20. You know, Marta still crushing it, unreal. And then Caroline coming in. I'm like, what y'all eating? Tell me something, please.
Well, Jess, let me tell you, whatever they're eating and drinking, I missed on that because I'm clearly not on that level. I clearly did not take part on that. My career ended when I was 22. So that no, but they're truly it's a whole different level, right? Like
Mhm.
the game, the way that they take care of their bodies, the way they can still perform, but it's
Yeah.
also their passion too. I think how Brazilians feel about the game and how they want to play, that it's so different and
It
it's
is.
so hard to find with any other nation in a
Mhm.
way. They're
Yeah.
different kind of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna have the rest of this group is though tough, and they're gonna have to show that passion.
Yep. Last but not least, we have Japan, which personally, I love sitting down and watch Japan play. The way that they're so disciplined, the way that they are so careful and respectful, but then at the same time, if you mess up, I'm gonna come and go score. Like the whole thing of Japan is just unbelievable. player to watch here, Hinata Miyazawa, which I know, Jess, you're a big fan as well. She won the Golden Boot at the past FIFA Women's World Cup. She scored 5 goals in 4 games, I believe. 5 goals in 4 games, right?
That sounds right.
That's it. Yeah. 24 years old, midfielder, plays for Man U. And I know that we talk that Spain always play the tiki-taka game, but to me, Japan does it just the same way. It's unbelievable. The same way that Jess also mentioned, Japan has depth, my friend. They can play players everywhere, and the sub players are just as good. But that's not it. For Group C, we also have Nigeria, which they qualify by making the top 2 in the CAF Olympics qualifying tournament. Powerful team, very strong. And how can we not mention my player to watch there? Has to be who? Do we know from in the
Asisa Ashwala?
You got it right. The best footballer in Nigeria. It's powerful, strong, very hard to stop. However, for Nigeria here, which is kind of tough, one player really can't carry the entire team in this tournament, especially tournaments like that. I cannot wait to watch her play because she's the type of forwards where you just sit down, enjoy it. If you give her one chance, my friend, she's going to put the ball in the back of the net. She played for Barcelona, Arsenal, Liverpool. She has the experience. She's now at BFC. But yeah, that is Brazil, Nigeria, Japan, and Spain. That is Group C for you.
Yeah, good recap there of Group C, and maybe an opportunity for Asisa Ashwala to get herself back on her scoring ways because it's been tough for her in NWSL. But this is a baller. This could be her moment. Yeah. All right, let's go through our predictions. Who's coming out of these groups, guys? Let's go as we name these. We'll just go whoever you say first is getting first out of that group, and so on. So, Duda, do you want to do the honors of going first?
Group A, I have going through to the next phase, France and Colombia.
Ooh.
Group B, USA, Germany, and Zambia. The third place is there for me. Yeah.
Wow.
And Group C, Spain, Brazil, and Japan has third place.
Okay. Jess, what do your groups look like at the end of this?
Okay. This is so hard because the women's game has grown so much. So it's going to be such a hard prediction. Okay, so Group A, I will also have to go with, I'm going to say Colombia, then France.
Wow.
Hey, you never know.
I like
Colombia
it.
surprised me in the World Cup, so
I like it.
I want them to surprise me in the Olympics. Group B, obviously, got to go with my USA girls. And then Germany. I'm like crossing my fingers for Germany. I want to see them trying to continue to succeed. And then I'll say Zambia in third.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get Zambia 3 because hey, you can't sleep on Zambia either. Group C, I will go with Spain, Japan, Brazil.
Duda you had to have a third there, so Duda knew she was in.
I know, I'm breathing very hard.
No,
yeah. The C group is so hard.
It is. It's the hardest group, I think, because Nigeria could very well be in there too, but we're going 3 for 3. I don't think they're going to make it either. My Group A looks like France, Colombia, and then Canada. Group B is United States, Australia. Come on, guys. No one's giving the Aussies a chance.
I know, Matilda's.
And then Group C is Spain, Japan, Brazil. So I like that we all have some differences here. So that might make our predictions when it comes to gold, silver, bronze a little bit different. Jess, who's your first 3? Who's going on the podium for the Olympics this year?
Okay. Gold, United States.
I like the confidence. Let's go.
Okay. United States, Japan, Spain.
I like it.
If that's possible.
Yeah.
I didn't fully look at.
It depends on who you
how
have.
the round would go. Yeah.
You have to do the whole bracket, who goes here, where, and there. But I'm sure it is a possibility. So I like those 3 teams. Different than mine. Duda, you go first, and then I'll wrap us up.
Well, let's do it. First place, I have in my ideal world. Okay, I have Brazil and the U.S. in first place.
What kind of world is this?
Not both.
It's my world. This is my world, Jordan. I make the rules. No, gold. I have going for Spain. Second place, the U.S. In third place, Brazil. This is the head talking, not the heart. Can you tell? Can you tell?
Yeah, I can.
Spain, USA, and Brazil.
Yeah, my head is with you on some of those things too. I said Spain is winning. They're going to be the first back-to-back World Cup to Olympic champions. Thanks to Duda for that fact. I have the United States finishing second, and I have France in third.
That's good.
Who do you think is going to be the Golden Boot? Jess, you love scoring goals. Who's going to love scoring goals this tournament?
Golden Boot. I'm going. Oh, see, this is almost like your prediction, Duda, between like United States, Brazil being number one.
Yeah.
I'm like Sophia Smith, Barbara Banda, because they're like Golden Boot race, NWSL, both on their front foot. Oh, but if I have to choose out of the two, I got to go with Soph Smith.
Okay, that's a good choice. It's a good choice. Good form right now. You had the United States winning, so if they're winning, she's scoring goals.
Yeah.
Duda?
Mouse Swanson.
Me too, Duda!
Really?
Yes!
Amazing, Jordan. Okay, let's go.
Yep.
I think her form also too. She just can't stop scoring goals for
Unreal.
Chicago and for the US as well. And yeah, she missed the World Cup. I think the way that she just wants to play, and she's playing so free under Emma Hayes, and it's so exciting to watch.
Yep.
My money's on its own Mal.
Okay, my money's on Mal too. She missed out on the 2023 World Cup, and she is hungry, and the only way to feed her is goals.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
We got to talk about the Golden Gloves too. The best goalkeeper of this tournament. At the end of the day, they're coming up to take that trophy during the podium. Who's going to be, Duda?
So since my final, normally, right? Like it's always the goalkeeper of the team who wins. So I went for the goalkeeper for the Spanish national team. Kata, I think she would take the Golden Glove for me.
Jess?
She's so good.
It's a good choice.
Uncle Alyssa Nair.
Me too, Jess.
Honestly, even though the U.S. didn't advance as far as they did in the World Cup, she was still one of the best keepers out there, especially when it came to the penalties. And she's been crushing it these last couple of years. So I'm going to have to go with Alyssa on this one.
I'm going with Alyssa too, because this team is playing a little different. They're going to be challenged.
Mm-hmm.
How do they come up? How do they face the challenges of teams that really come after them? We don't know yet. But one thing we do know is that Alyssa Nair always has her moments in big tournaments. Yep. She had it in 2019 with the save on the penalty against England in the semifinal. She had it last year with multiple saves and the PK save that I think she still saved, you guys. I think it was saved off the line. So I'm going to say it's going to be Alyssa Nair. She's going to have her moment. And it's going to be fun to watch. What are you looking at me like that for, Duda?
Quick question. I was just wondering, do we know if we have VAR at the Olympics?
That's a good question.
We
should know that. Maybe our producer can do a little checking and we can make sure we have that answer by the end of the pod, because that's a very good question.
I was wondering.
Because that'll be a save, right? That would be a save.
100%. Yes.
Okay, to wrap up our preview segment, should we do a fun like Olympics this or that?
Let's do it.
Feels like the right thing to do here. Okay, I'm gonna just ask you guys. I'm gonna go back and forth. I might give my answer too, because some of these I feel like they need answers.
Absolutely.
It feels right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give your answers. You want to hear them too.
Yeah. Okay. Jess, I'm gonna start with you. If you had to wear a jersey of another team, you picking Nigeria or you picking Spain?
I will have to go with Nigeria. My roots. So Nigeria. And their jerseys are sick too.
Yes.
Oh man, they're sweet.
So nice. All right, Duda.
Yes.
The first alternate used at the Olympics: Hal Hirschfeld, Croy Bethune.
Croy Bethune.
Yes.
Croy Bethune.
Yeah, we're all on that Croy train, are we not?
Yes.
We're all on that core chain. I'm thinking she's going to be not just rookie of the year in NWSL. I think she might be MVP too. Just saying it. Just saying it, people.
Huh.
First time we ever see that.
Heard it
Definitely
here
a
first.
possibility.
Heard her.
Yep. All right, Jess. If you had to watch a game, are you going to Marseille or are you going to Nice?
Marseille.
Oh, I don't think you could go wrong there.
No.
I'm not sure. I don't think you could go wrong there.
Yeah.
Dude, it is the Olympics. So there is like, too many good other sports to watch, right?
Yeah.
So many things that I love watching from my couch. But if you could go and watch another sport, attend another sport, you attending gymnastics or you attending track and field?
Track and field.
Okay.
Really?
Sprints.
Yeah. Sprints, but like it's
Hurdles.
It's in the stadium too. Is the hurdles? It's the speed. It's there's so much in there. I would rather be in the stadium there.
Yeah.
Watching track
I'm
and
going
field. And I've never.
gymnastics.
Yeah. Why?
Oh yeah. Because how do they do that?
I know. I mean, also, how do Olympians do like all of that? All of it.
I don't know. I want to see it close up because I don't know how you do that.
That is
Speaking
true.
of which, Jess, if you could dominate at another Olympic sport, would it be race walking or the javelin?
Javelin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can we give us a little bit of those guns? Because you got some strength, girl. We carried around those babies, huh?
There it
Absolutely.
is. What
Everyone's
are
like,
you
"How'd you
eating,
get so
Jess?
fit?" I'm
What
like,
are you eating, Jess? What are you drinking, Jess? That's what we want to know.
Let me tell you guys, people ask me all the time, how did you get so fit so quickly after having the baby? Because I'm carrying my infant all day long. I'm just in here doing bicep curls all day. All day, you guys.
So that
Every
would
day.
be good. You would be perfect for the javelin.
Exactly.
Duda, what would you be good at?
Yeah. Because my infant is preparing me for the javelin throw.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wait, what about you, Jordan? Race walking or javelin?
Oh, race walking. Have you seen these hips? Can
Oh,
I get on a walk?
they don't lie, huh?
Hips
Right.
don't
Call me
lie.
Shakira. That would be my race walking name.
I wonder, have you ever seen any like race walker like train? Like out on the road? I haven't.
No, I have not. I've never
No.
seen anybody training.
No.
But maybe
Sorry,
I'll
just
start.
a thought.
Maybe I'll pick it up here. Do a meetup group. Duda, if you had to pick one of these two options, what would it be? Tickets to the entire group stage game of your team, which fair to say it would be Brazil?
Brazil and US. I'm a 200%, 100% Brazil, 100% US. So I
Okay,
get to pick
all right.
for both.
Group stage tickets to all of their games, or one ticket to the final.
Ooh. All the games during the group stage, or one takes to the final. I'll go to the final.
Me too.
No matter who it is, I'll go to
Jess,
the final.
you going to the final?
Oh, the final for sure. It's
Yeah.
historical.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, last one. Jess, if you had to eat a French treat every day throughout the Olympics, are you having a macaron or are you having a croissant?
Croissant.
Hmm?
I
Just a
love
plain?
chocolate. I love chocolate croissants. Can I
Chocolate.
add the chocolate in there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
This is,
that's what I'm
this
eating.
is your game.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. What would you choose, Duda?
Oh, croissant, but with the
Yeah.
chocolate as well.
See, I like the almond. I'm gonna say it.
Oh, almond's actually super good too. I do
It is
love the
good.
almond croissants as well. So
No.
touche.
So no, absolutely
Duda's
not.
out.
So
Duda's
just eat
out. We had
almond.
her
Just eat an
until we
almond.
said
No,
almond.
no. Just eat an almond. Almond, no.
Have almonds on the side and then have the chocolate croissant.
100%. Who puts almond on the croissant? No.
Yeah. Okay, let's wrap by saying our producer helped us out. There
Woo.
is VAR at this tournament. so
Yes. Okay.
no.
Good to know.
And yeah, I think that's a substantial step in the right direction for women's soccer in general to keep that included in these types of tournaments. So you guys, this has been so much fun. I feel like we really dug into not just the US women's national team, but the entire Olympics. The following episodes are not going to be quite as long as this as we dig into every single US women's national team match, breaking down the action, decisions, and key moments within all of those games. And then a little bit of a look ahead to the next match. It's going to be fun. We're going to be, I think we're going to have a lot of good things to talk about, you guys. And we are just so excited that you all want to be a part of this with us. So make sure you go subscribe, to our page on YouTube. That's Just Women Sports, and follow us on all of your social channels. You guys, it's happening.
This
Just
is
a few
it.
days away. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. All done.
Let's
First
go.
one. First
Yeah.
one. Thanks for hanging out. Let's do it.
Yes.
Yes. So we are so excited to see you guys back here on July 25th for our next episode as the U.S. Women's National Team takes on Zambia. That's it for now. We'll see you guys next time on the 91st.